Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. A breath of love. How about if all of you send that my way right now? I think I could use that. What was I thinking? Okay, I picked a really interesting topic. Okay, highly sensitive people. This is not an illness, it's not a disease, it's not, a label that makes somebody worse than somebody else. On the other side of this is what I'm going to share with you. It's an amazing spiritual gift. And for some of you who might just be, hearing this for the first time or thinking, this is an egg I think I might sit on for a little bit, okay? And I'm reminded by my partner, Oren, when I go to handle different challenging situations, he says to me, Judy, remember, don't shoot the messenger. Okay, so I'm going to say this to all of you. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? So you probably didn't hear, but Reverend Sharon Bush said I can go ahead and talk for an hour. Oops, no, Jim said no. Okay, can't do it. I'll keep it. We've got a time person up here. So, a highly sensitive person, okay? If some of you might be aware of that you are, or you're going to be open to hear about this, we know this even in the womb before we come here, okay? That all the trauma we might have had as a child, or whatever trauma was there, didn't make us a highly sensitive person. We knew before coming in, we have this gift of anticipation. It could be a positive trait, it could be a negative trait. I'm going to share with you what could be some traits. And I just want to, I'm probably not going to refer to it as negative or positive. It's the opportunities of what we can evolve with. Okay, and so, wow, I'm remembering so many different things. I'll just point out one or two. As a child, I love turtles. I don't know what it is. I love turtles. I'd collect little turtles and play with them. And then, we had a neighborhood bully. Okay, and he would see me out with the turtles and come and take the stones and just do everything to crush them. I was crushed for days. Like, what? How does this happen? And my parents or my siblings would be like, what's the big deal? It's just a turtle. But a highly sensitive person really taps in and communicates with the spirit of nature, with the spirit of the animals, whether it's dogs, horses, a butterfly. There's a sensitivity beyond that a lot of people might not have awakened to yet. So in preparing for this, first of all, I'm very grateful for the opportunity here at Unity to be able to speak and to share, and that this open community allows just all the variety of messages, inspirations that come through. So thank you. So I wanna mention, I'm gonna give you an acronym for DOES. And this is relating to, I'm going to call it HSP, okay, highly sensitive people. D stands for depth of processing. The depth of processing for highly sensitive people is absolutely endless, okay? And you don't even know why. It's just there from the get-go. O is for overstimulation. So easy to get overstimulated, and I'll go into that in a minute here. But if some of you can relate to that. E is for emotional reactivity. Oh my, that's a good one, okay? And I've got a great partner who can handle me. Okay, that's good. S is for sensing the subtleties. You can walk in a room, you can sense the subtleties that a lot of people can't. Now I want to, going to address a few things here about what are some of the traits maybe that have not been transformed yet as a highly sensitive person. You know, noises, textures, sounds, tones, being around crowds for too long, movies that have violence in them. I absolutely cannot do it. You know, there are some things that there's a fine line, but if you find really just hurts your heart, it hurts your gut, you know. I don't care even if my children for years would say, well, those are just actors and actresses and whatever. It's a frequency. It's a frequency that is not for my higher soul. You might be able to have this knowing and you don't know why. It's like, I just know this. I just feel this. And trust that. Maybe as a boy you were told, or as a girl, don't cry. Don't show your feelings, don't show your emotions. You know, suck it up, toughen up. You know, get out there in the sports and knock them down. You know, the competition, you know, we got to be so tough and we got to be so strong. Don't show the emotions. God forbid, don't show you're afraid. Okay? And in my situation, it was years. I don't even, growing up, not crying. You do not cry, and you just handle life. The other side to that, there's a gift of survival that really turns into thriving. That is amazing, you know? And I have no regrets or blame on any of how I was raised. I truly believe my spirit knew that one day I will be able to seek out the opportunities to turn this into the most spiritual journey. And that's why I'm here. Have people said to you, you're pretty high maintenance? You talk way too much, okay? And you're in the way. You're a little bit in the way. Can you just like tone it down and I'll come back to you whenever, you know? It's like this thing of being pushed aside, not being recognized. But yet a highly sensitive person, they know they're not really shy. You know, they have labels put on them. Oh, they're shy. Oh, they're a little backward. Or he or she thinks they're better than you are because of how they're staying quiet and behind. It's not that. You observe as a person. You're taking note as a person. Other people may have tried to say, can't you just interact more? Can't you just like go ahead and just get right in and do this? That's not the way it works for a highly sensitive person. It's a whole different process. And it doesn't mean there is anything wrong with that or anything wrong with that, the person whatsoever. The filters are a little different. Our processing is a little different. And it has an amazing spiritual place. Crying. You cry too much, okay? Anything is too much. Or, you know, whatever it would be. Or just not being understood, not being able to communicate and feel and to be heard. But you had a pet, and that pet understood. And the animals, and you connect to the stars, and you connect to the moon, you connect to the sun. Nature, leaning by a tree, rubbing the leaves of a tree. You could feel that oneness with the divine. That's a gift. That's a gift for highly sensitive people. That oneness was there from the beginning. And I remember, right, I don't know, way back then, we rode school buses forever, okay? And on the bus, and, you know, George smoking a stogie, driving, and the whole thing, you know, and I'm sitting there with the pigtails, and like, oh, what is this world about? This just doesn't feel right, you know? I just don't belong here. I kept feeling that over and over as a child. I just don't relate. I just don't fit in. I just don't belong here. But today to find out, wow, do I ever? And I wanna read something to you. So in my journey, that as I was unraveling this amazing gift, and that's what I'm going to call it. Some people may call it a curse until they can transform it. And it's a gift, and it's a process. But I want to read you a poem somebody gave me as I was on this journey years ago, starting to unravel what the heck has happened to me and who am I. And there are moments where you just want to give up, but you don't. There's something in your spirit and your soul, and you know you can't. And this poem is called Don't Quit. This has been with me for years. I share it when I can with whoever, but I'm going to read it to you. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow, and may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggle has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds in doubt. And when you never can tell how close you are, it may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worst, you must not quit. And that's what can happen to us in different things we go through in life, where we just think, it's so hard to handle this anymore. But here is the beauty. We don't quit, we don't give up, we don't pull back when it comes to pouring this out, asking for the help in the Spirit. I am going to refer to God. Please use whatever term you want to use, and I use Christ consciousness. I have had so many powerful experiences with this, and that's what I'm going to use. Please use whatever you want that you best identify with. But I want to tell you the other side of this amazing spiritual gift. You will have visions. You can have dreams. You can communicate with angels and your spirit guides. You ask and you know your prayers are being answered. And you don't have to have expectations of when, how. There is a level of trust. There is a level of knowing that opens you up and connects you. You stay connected with something that was in you before your feet even touched this earth. And until I studied this much further, I didn't have the full appreciation and the connection of being a highly sensitive person truly is a blessing. Has it taken work? Oh yeah. Has it taken counseling? Has it taken talking to others? Oh yeah, definitely. And one of the things that I can equate this with, I'm going to use this as an analogy, as a highly sensitive person. Let's say you're a person who has an addiction, I don't know, gambling, going through your phones, alcohol, drugs, whatever it is. Some are visible, some are invisible. And you decide to stop, but you can't. And you try it again, and you can't. And you try it again, and you can't. Then you hit a bottom. Then the divine, the Spirit of God, creates a miracle. It's a messenger. It's, I'm here to help you. A highly sensitive person has as many obstacles to get through with this. But it's through the Spirit of God, your angels, your higher self, your beings, that says, I'm here to hold you. I'm here to help you. We can get through anything together. Without that, it goes nowhere. The pain is so painful. But the help is so abundant. The intuition becomes heightened. It's beyond. And that's the Spirit of God that speaks through us, is through the intuition. A desire to heal and help ourselves and to help others. A highly sensitive person embraces that. Is it always pretty? No. There are tough times, there are difficulties, yes. We are all equal, but today I'm just addressing, just in case this is a little bit inside of you right now. And the other thing that I want to say, some people have totally shut it down because of the trauma, because of the hurts and the pain. And they have shut it off, and they've just became more robotic. And I want to encourage anyone, pray about it. This is an amazing gift that is waiting for you to open up to. The compassion, the kindness, the comfort, the tenderness that a highly sensitive person has is amazing. There is a book, if any of you want to get it, it's called The Highly Sensitive Person. And afterwards you could come up and I'll show you. But I want to read something to you out of the Conversations with God. I'm still trying to keep on track here. Oh my goodness. And this is beautiful. And I want to tell you how a highly sensitive person might work in another person's life or affect a highly sensitive person. And I'll be grateful to the day that Peter gifted Orrin this book. And it was years ago I read it, and it's just been such a gift to our life. We just keep passing it on to as many people. We can receive that, we can feel that because of the sensitivity. So I want to say here, so Neil Donald Walsh has been asking God questions, and he's saying about the men and the women, and one's above the other, and all this stuff. And here God's saying, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. I tell you this, heal the rift between you and the illusions of separation, and you shall be delivered back to the source of your inner strength. That is where you will find true power. The power to do anything, the power to be anything, the power to have anything. For the power to create is derived from the inner strength that is produced through unity. This is true of relationships between you and God, just as it is remarkably true of the relationship between you and your fellow humans. Stop thinking of yourself as separate, and all the true power that comes from the inner strength of unity is yours. As a whole, as a worldwide society, and as an individual part of the whole, the weird yield, will, okay, as you wish. Yet remember this, power comes from inner strength. Inner strength does not come from raw power. In this, most of the world has it backwards. Power without inner strength is an illusion. Inner strength without unity is a lie that has not served the race, but that has nevertheless deeply embedded itself into your race consciousness. For you think that inner strength comes from individuality and from separateness, and that is simply not so. Separation from God and from each other is the cause of all your dysfunction and suffering. Still, separation continues to masquerade as strength, and your politics and your economics and even your religions have perpetuated that lie. This lie is the genesis of all wars and all the class struggles that lead to war, of all animosity between races and gender, and all the power struggles that lead to animosity of all personal trials and tribulations, and all the eternal struggles that lead to tribulations. There is no separation, not from each other, not from God, and not from anything. Act as if you were separate from nothing, and you heal the world. Understand that it is about power with, not power over. And being a highly sensitive person, and I left out just a couple sentences because it's getting a little long, but that just know this power is one within, with divine, with God, with your sacred path, and to honor it. Study this, learn about it, and expand and open up your intuition, and your gifts will continue to flourish. Thank you dearly for this opportunity to share today.